Yeah. I don't even know what time it was, but it's a true story. I woke up early from a God visit. 9 pillars underneath a mansion. Rooms on top of rooms with a gold room inside a large temple. Jesus said, this my father's house and it's all you when you finish working. Now I don't choose purpose that is earthly. What I got promise ain't on the surface. So I gotta guard my eyes now. Fortify and guard my mind now. Put more faith in the I am, cause I'm all his, that's fine, no. No sweat, 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 sweat. Carry the cross, carry the burden, carry the pain on my back. That's 1 foot in front of 1 foot. Trust him, not eyes, not my own work. Walk mile on mile in his footsteps. No break, won't break on the conquerors. Conquer flesh for the soul, cause he paid what I owe. No fear in me on the road, cause this is what he showed. When I woke up early from a God visit. 9 pillars underneath a mansion. Rooms on top of rooms with a gold room inside a large temple. Jesus said, this my father's house and it's all you when you finish working. Now I don't choose purpose that is earthly. What I got promise ain't on the surface. And that's just like my faith. No play, no games about grace. Flesh broke, I break this bread. Blood spill, I take the strength. Come to communion. Come to your highness when spirit is moving. Come be disciple. Lean on his word and never trust idols. Cause the separation out here real. Ain't no God in how you feel. Only way is how you live. By the gospel that he sent. Kingdom here in your mix. Son and man in the mix. Broken body getting fixed. Move the stone from your chest.
Peace, 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 peace. What's going on, folks? Tuning in once again for today. I know I did one earlier today, but I just wanted to come back on and bring you some more of the current events. So let's look at this. I'm going to play a video for you guys, and I'm going to come back after it's finished. But today came out that the RNC chair, Ronna McDaniel, she basically confirmed everything that I've been talking about for the last couple of days. Basically, with everything that's going on in the news, man, things are really looking up for the president, as the strategy that he wants to use is literally exactly what everybody on the right has been saying. Even the moderates have been saying the same thing. And we still have people who don't understand how the election works. They don't understand that this is not a game for the popular vote. It is a game for the electorate. But again, a lot of people don't understand how this works. I do want to, before I get into the video, I want anybody watching this video, go ahead, like and subscribe this video. Also, click the notification bell so that you get the notifications for every single video that comes out. I have a lot more going on than just this political talk that I'm doing every single I've been doing for the last couple of days. I definitely am going to be doing a lot more than just political talk. We're going to get into a whole lot of different types of topics. We're going to keep them clean, family friendly, Christian friendly, because that's what we do here. But if we're going to talk about it, we got to talk about everything. We can't just talk about one thing and focus in on one thing, because that's not what life is about. Life has varying amounts of different topics to talk about. So I definitely want to make sure that I keep consistent with the messaging, as well as just, reaching out to different demographics to make sure that everybody is touched. Again, like, this is not just a channel about politics, though we are honing in on the political system currently right now. So I'm going to switch over to this video, and we're going to watch this together.
We go now to Republican Party headquarters and Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel. Good morning to you. In 2016, President Trump staged this.
Thanks for having me.
we're glad to have you. President Trump staged a late and historic surge back in 2016, but you heard there is record early turnout already at 2016 levels in Texas and Hawaii. It's approaching them in a number of other key battlegrounds. So is your turnout, get out the vote operation, enough to help you close this on Election Day?
Well, I agree with the analysis we just had. COVID has changed things, so it's pulled a lot of Democrat Election Day voters into that absentee and early vote category, and Republicans are wanting to vote on Election Day in person and cast their ballot that way. So we feel very strong that we have a surge coming on Election Day. We've also built the best ground game in history with 2.5 million volunteers and 3,000 staff on the ground, and we are contacting these voters right now all weekend through the next few days to make sure they turn out to vote. But he's exactly right. The margins are going to be based on that Election Day turnout, and Republicans will have a surge that day. We're going to have that, and that's why we're going to win.
The president said yesterday, if we win Pennsylvania, it's over. But you know you need to do much more than that to get to 270. He's playing defense in Florida. He's playing defense in Georgia. What is the path to 270 that you have charted?
Well, Florida's critical, and we've seen us take the lead in early voting and really erase the deficit we had with the absentee ballots. So as our voters, as early voting becomes available to our voters, they're doing it. And we feel very good about Florida. Georgia and North Carolina, the same thing. As early voting has started in those states, Republicans have erased the lead that Democrats had in absentee ballots. And then, of course, you've got to go up to the Arizona and then the Midwest states, which are all too critical. And the president has a record to run on. Joe Biden said, I'm going to get rid of fracking. That's critical in the state of Pennsylvania. When Joe Biden says, I'm going to eliminate oil and gas, people in the Midwest are cold. We don't want to pay more for gas and for heating costs. So these are really critical issues. And of course, Biden saying, I'm going to raise your taxes is something that's not tenable for a lot of people who are living paycheck to paycheck.
As you know, Biden has said fracking on federal lands versus others is a difference for him. But to get back to that idea of the ground game that you are credited personally with really having invested a lot of money into for the Republican Party, if your voters are so excited about President Trump, why haven't they shown up yet?
Because they really want to vote in person. And I will say it's been interesting, Margaret, this year as we've surveyed our voters, a vast majority of them want to vote in person. They want to make sure that their vote counts. They're not completely trusting of the mail ballot system, and so they've made that very clear. And we saw this in these special elections. In the Chris Jacobs election in New York 27, the Democrats had a very large lead in absentee ballots heading into Election Day, and then we won Election Day by 40%. And that's kind of the flip-flop we expect to see on Election Day this year, with our voters coming out Election Day as they stacked gains with absentee ballots.
You had a big profile in the Wall Street Journal. It came out just yesterday, and you said in it, you acknowledged, we know some suburban women who were with Donald Trump in 2016 may have faded away. Our data shows it's more than faded. It's been a large swing. Why have you lost women in that way?
Well, I think women are coming back. Women make a majority of the healthcare decisions, and as they see us on track to a vaccine, they see the therapeutics coming in. They want to see their kids in school. They agree with things like school choice that Republicans are putting forward, and also law and order. What we're seeing in these cities, Democrat-run cities, have really brought women back to President Trump, because they do not want to see cities burned down, the looting, the rioting. We're seeing this in Philadelphia right now. They don't want to see police defunded. So women are issue voters. We know this, Margaret. We're not monolithic. We're over 50% of the electorate. We're not single issue voters, but we're making decisions based on our lives, and every single issue impacts us. But I do think one of the overwhelming issues we're seeing that's bringing them back right now in the suburbs is law and order.
Dan Crenshaw, as you know, a prominent Republican freshman.
So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video right here, and I want you to understand that a lot of these key issues that people are very partisan on, that they don't understand, is because they're not looking at it from both sides of the field. You know, here I like to look at it from both sides. I'm not going to just look at it from a Republican side. I'm going to look at it from the Democratic side. So again, like in my previous videos, I was getting a lot of the information from CNN, MSNBC. Those I was getting that picture from their side. So now we're looking at it from the Republican side. Now we're seeing that both sides are showing the same, that they're getting the same types of numbers. But as you hear this, the RNC chair speaking about what's going on right now, you grow to understand that the battle for these key states, in the battle for these key states, Donald Trump is picking up his numbers. Joe Biden has had, which they said that he's going to have the early votes and he's going to have the mail-in. But the other flip side to that is exactly what she said. On election day, most Republicans, almost all Republicans, are going to vote on election day. They want to vote on election day. They are not afraid of coronavirus. They will go and vote on election day. They want to make sure that their vote counts. Whereas the Democrats have fear-mongered their entire base to the point where they don't want to go out and vote in person. They want to do it, quote unquote, safely by actually voting through mail-in ballots and also through absentee ballots. Now that in this election cycle, I feel as if that is going to hurt the Democrats for the long haul, because again, if you watch a lot of Joe Biden, even on the Democratic side, as far as the news outlets, you'll grow to see that Joe Biden has only but recently started to try to get a ground game. What he's literally, most of his stuff has been on the internet, this, that, and the third. He's been trying to use the same type of tactics that Bernie Sanders used, where Bernie Sanders had the internet, but Joe Biden is not he's not a populist person to where he knows how to gain leverage over the internet. So him having the drive up rallies, the online rallies, this, that, and the third, his numbers are not looking the same as Trump's, especially when it comes to having people excited to vote for him. Again, she said it when she was talking that most of the people who registered to vote for Republicans want to vote Republican and they're willing to vote in person. So there is going to be a red wave on election day. Another thing that I have pulled up, and I'm going to show you two articles. And again, these are not Republican models they're not Republican models or Republican news outlets. These are left wing news outlets. So we got the first one, which is the Washington Post. We all know the Washington Post hates Trump. The Washington Post does not like Trump. And what we have here is, if Joe Biden loses, it probably won't be because of an increase in GOP voter registration. Here's a second one. Behind in polls, Republicans see a silver lining in voter registration. Now, in many of the key areas that Joe Biden needs, voter registration is something that the Democrats have not gained, because again, they have not gained the enthusiasm for enough voters to want to register Democrat. But there are people who have registered more Republican. Think about it. If there are more Republicans that are registered to vote, and the Republicans that are registered to vote want to vote in person, what do you think is going to happen on election day? Only about 55% of the voting, only 55% of the voting block, I think it's like 55, it might be 40 something percent of the voting block is already almost split or close to being for President Trump, especially in some of these key states, against what the Democrats are saying on their news outlets, or with what they're saying. If President Trump has already picked up steam, listen to me, if President Trump has already picked up steam in some of these electorates, and the Democrats are not picking up any steam, even with the early ballots and the absentee voting as of now, and the Republicans, 40% are going to vote Republican on election day, you can bet your bottom dollar that President Trump is going to win the election. And it's all because there are more Republicans who actually registered to vote this time around than there were. The enthusiasm that President Trump has with his base and with people who actually go against the grain of what the establishment Democratic Party want, they have grown. Again, if we go back to the midterm elections, Donald Trump was geared to win the election during the midterm. He won the polling in the midterm election against Joe Biden. Again, 20% of the Republicans who they polled lied to the pollsters. The polls do not show a true estimate of what is going on in the electorate. This is not a battle for the popular vote. It's a battle to win the electoral colleges. It's a battle to win the electoral colleges. Trump is going to win way more counties, and he's picking up in some of the counties that he needs to pick up in. Think about this. The messaging that went across, who built the cages, Joe? We're not a socialist country, Joe. The Democrats want to bring socialism, is ringing very loudly with some of these Hispanic voters. Joe Biden is not winning with Hispanic voters. Joe Biden is not winning with Hispanic voters. So, what do you think is going to happen on Election Day? Right now, they are trying to, after they've already said, all right, we're done with the mail-in ballots and we're done with the early voting, we already got the cat in the bag. Let's go ahead and fearmonger those who are supposed to vote in person. Now, most of the Republicans they're not easily scared by the mainstream media. They're just not. They don't really care about what it is that the mainstream media is saying. Coronavirus, to many of these people who are going to vote in person, is not where they say it's going to be. They don't care. It's not that they don't care and they don't care about contracting it, but it's not as serious of an issue as them actually putting in their votes and going out to vote. I just watched Tim Pool, and he pulled up a picture of a rally in Pennsylvania. And it was a huge number of people who were there. This is, I think this is it right here. I'm going to pull it up. This was on October the 26th. Thousands gather at Altoona Blair County Airport for President Trump rally. This rally should show you an estimate of the amount of people who went to this rally who are going to vote for President Trump. It should show you a picture of all of the people who are going to vote for President Trump. This is just in Pennsylvania. People are enthusiastic about voting for President Trump. And this is not just one rally. He's doing 5 rallies a day in different states. 5. And all of them are the exact same. They said that the rally that he just did had 56,000 people at it. If he's doing 5 of those, you do the math. You do the math. You do the math. Joe Biden is not bringing in these numbers. You have to have fans. You have to have people who actually like you to actually go out and be enthusiastic about you in order to vote for you. One of the things that one of the pundits or experts said about how one of the reasons why President Trump, how he picks a winner for the presidential elections, and he says he's been right all of the time. One of the key things was how polarizing is this person. And if you think that President Trump is the least polarizing person compared to Joe Biden, you are out of your mind. Joe Biden does not have the type of support that Donald Trump does. He just doesn't. And again, on election day, he says it, the RNC chair says it, a lot of the pundits are saying it, because the Democrats are fear-mongering. Don't go, you're going to get coronavirus is heavy for people who are voting, going to vote in person. You're going to scare your people from not going. But I know one thing, they're pushing their people to go vote in person. Not mail-in ballots, not absentee ballots. Sure, you got a good amount for early voting, but again, you're out of your mind if you think that President Trump is going to lose this election because Joe Biden has a proposed lead with almost less than half the electorate already tallied. He hasn't been able to keep that lead. Now, if he was able to keep those leads come today, I would say okay. But there was a letter put out that says the polls are wrong. The polls are wrong. And I'm about to pull that up. Here we go. This is from the Atlantic. Debbie Dingell is afraid the Trump polls are wrong again. The Michigan congresswoman warned her party about the president's appeal 4 years ago. Here's what she's afraid of this time around. Listen to me clear. Listen to me clear. The reason why he had to bring out Obama, the reason why he had to bring out the Obamas, the reason why he had to bring out Hillary Clinton, the reason why he had to sit down with Cardi B and bring out Common and bring out Lizzo and bring out all of these names and get Hollywood to back them and get all of the news outlets to back him and tell the polls that he's winning in the polls. The reason why he had to do that is because with the heartbeat of the real America, with the core America, I should say, with the people who are actually paying attention and not the people that they're putting in front of the cameras, because so many times we've seen so many times interviews of people who say that they're undecided voters. I'm voting for President Joe Biden. And then it comes out that these people are false in what they're saying. It's been so many times that that's happened. The real voters are going to vote for Trump. You can't deny it. All the history points to it. A lot of the numbers are pointing to it. Even when you talk to some of these people, even when they're talking on their shows and they're talking about what's going on, they always shy towards not giving Donald Trump the actual due that he is owed. They keep saying over and over again, well, Joe Biden is in the lead, but they don't tell you that the Joe Biden is still in the lead, but they're not saying on the other side, President Trump is picking up his lead. They're not saying that because they can't say that, because they can never give him the upper hand and say that he's winning at anything. They have to continue to be negative, which is going to kill them in the long term. Because if they were to tell people Donald Trump is winning right now, guess what? A lot of the people who hate Donald Trump and are not going to vote would actually be there would be a battery in those people's back. There would be a battery in those people's back to go vote for Donald Trump, which is why I feel like the DNC is actually throwing this election. The Democrats are so stupid, they're throwing the election. They know good as well Joe Biden is not going to win this. Obama even said that Joe is going to find a way to screw this up, and he has. He told the oilers, he told everybody in the oil, in the fracking community, what did he say? He said we're going to end oil by 2025, and we're going to cancel fracking over and over and over again. He disgraced the black community. He ended up putting Kamala Harris on his ticket. He didn't apologize for the 95 crime bill. He's been screwing up this entire time, and everything that he needed to do, he did the exact opposite, and now he's going to lose this election. It is what it is, folks. You can believe the lying, fake news all you want to, but at the end of the day, Joe Biden is going to lose this, and the reason why he's going to lose it is because he threw in the flag a long time ago. He's incoherent. Even when he's on a teleprompter, he can't stay on topic. He looks like a weak candidate. Kamala Harris can't stay on topic. She wants to switch the topic and not bring anything. Neither of them have a platform, nor have either of them actually atoned for the things that they've done in their past. If they would have taken the ego out of their own, if they would have taken the ego out of their own politics and what they're thinking of, they would have been better candidates. But they can't do that. They can't give up a loss. They can't look vulnerable to the electorate. But what they didn't understand was, if I would have done this, this would have showed my electorate and those who may be wavering that maybe this person is being honest. And what people want is honesty, and that's why Trump is winning. Because Trump does not care what he says. And most of the time when Trump is talking, people see him as being honest. Against what the liberal media is saying. Against what the liberal media is saying, most people say, I like Donald Trump because he says what's on his mind. That means they have a trust in Donald Trump, even though what the media is saying because the media, what the media did was they lied many times on Donald Trump, which gave more leverage for people to actually look at what was being said and see what was being said in this internet environment where people can actually TiVo and rewind and keep watching what's going on. They think people are not going to go back and look at the whole thing. Some people are gullible like that, and they do. But again, you guys are going to lose. Joe Biden is going to lose. And I hope what they say is going to happen isn't going to happen, where you have a lot of people planning to riot if Donald Trump wins. That is the only thing that I fear. That is the only thing I fear, is that people are going to riot just because their go-to guy is going to lose this election. That's it. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Again, like and subscribe. Shoot me a comment if you like what I'm saying. Just keep showing up. We want to get at least to 100 by the beginning of the year. If we could get to 100, that would be great. We only got 20 more subscribers until, I think it's like 15 more subscribers till we get to 100 subscribers on this channel. I would love it if you guys keep tuning in. I have so much more content that's coming. Like I've been telling my earlier subscribers, my media company, we're working on some things so that we can continue to put out more content for you guys, and we will be doing that soon. So tune in. I love you guys. Peace and blessings.